Just a disclaimer. This scripture talks about Sarai and Abraham. So sometimes I may say Abraham because that is what we are used to, but this is where we are. They are before when they were still called Sarai and Abraham. Okay? Just a disclaimer before we move on. So indeed, the title for today is The God Who Sees Me. So we've heard the story as we read our scripture here of Sarai and Abraham. We remember, if we just go back to this story, we remember that God made them a promise. Do we remember the promise that God made to Sarai and Abraham? Do we? Right, I need you to talk to me. It's not very easy up here. It feels very lonely. So if you're just staring at me, I am going to feel very cold. So I need you to talk to me. Yes, for some people like Babs who stand here all the time, it's quite easy. But for some of us, it is not easy. So I need you guys to communicate with me. Do we know the story about Abraham and Sarah? Yes. What was the promise that was given to them? Yes, Tebo. What was the promise? They were going to have a son. Indeed, yes. And how old were they? You may not remember their years. Were they young? No, they were not young. They were very old. But they were promised that they were going to have a son. But now, time went by. No son came. And remember, Abraham was promised that he'll be father of many nations. How do you become father of many nations when you don't even have one? You know? So we can imagine how that felt. So Sarah, and even in that culture where they lived in at that time, you know, when we got married, we stayed for about 6 years before having a child. The pressure. The aunties and the Dorcas ladies at church, are you okay, my daughter? Is everything okay? We are not seeing anything happening. You know, the pressure of the community and her herself wanting to have children. We know as mothers, when you can't have children, when you've been praying to have, you know, that thing that is in your heart. So I don't believe that, you know, Sarah and Abraham disobeyed God intentionally. They thought they were doing something okay, something good. It was normal then. I see even in my country, South Africa, there are, you know, men who will marry a second wife, a third wife, because this one wife maybe has only got one child or doesn't have a child. So, you know, we see that even the community can put pressure, so much pressure on somebody that you end up making decisions that are wrong. Decisions that are not in line with the Lord. So we continue. So now they talk, say Abraham and Sarah, and say, look, it's not happening. It's not make sure. You know, this is not happening. Let's do something about it. Maybe let's help God a little bit. And then they decide that, okay, we've got our slave here, Hagar. Maybe if you have a child with Hagar, maybe that's what God meant when he said you will be a father of many nations. Okay? So they agree, and, you know, Abraham says, okay, that's fine. If that's what you want, that's okay. And indeed, they do that, and they continue, and Hagar becomes pregnant. The scripture tells us that once she became pregnant, what did she do? She despised her mistress. That is a very strong word. She hated her mistress. That's how bad it was. And so Sarah retaliates and she mistreats Hagar. She abuses Hagar. She oppresses Hagar to the point where Hagar says, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I cannot take this anymore. I am going. I don't know where I am going, but anywhere out there is better than being in here. So Hagar goes. She's pregnant now. She goes. She goes to the wilderness. And remember, Hagar came from Egypt. So you can imagine the distance. She can't even say, I'm going back home. She can't walk home, But she just felt, I am going back to wherever I can go. But we see that as she goes in the desert, the angel of the Lord found her. She didn't go out there looking for the angel of the Lord or looking for God. Maybe she didn't even know about this God. But the angel of the Lord found her. And the angel says to her, Hagar, where have you come from? And where are you going? Does that ring a bell? When God starts asking questions that we know clearly that God knows where Hagar is coming from. God knows what Hagar has been going through, why Hagar is there. But God is asking her, where are you going? Where are you coming from? Do we remember Adam and Eve after they had sinned? What did God say, Sister Patience? Where are you? Was God blind? Had he become blind? He did not see where Adam and Eve were, but he knew where they were. When Cain killed his brother Abel, God says, where is your brother? And he answers and he says, am I my brother's keeper? Did God not know what Cain had done? God knew what Cain had done. So these questions that God asks us, they are not for his benefit. They are for our own benefit. God is talking to us. God is communicating to us. He says, come, let us reason together. God is trying to reason with you, with me, to say, hey, where are you in my relationship with you? Have you moved away from me? Are you still where you are supposed to be? He wants to stop us so that we ponder on what we are doing, on our relationship with God. He's engaging with us. And so Hagar says, I am fleeing from my mistress, Sarai. And listen to what the angel says to her. Return to your mistress and submit yourself. Guys, we just said she was being abused. She had felt enough is enough. And the angel of God is saying, go back to your mistress and submit to her. Sometimes God speaks to us and he tells us to do things that are not comfortable with us. Have we experienced that? God says, Maggie, go and do it. I say, God, no, I can't. And God says, go.